Good morning and welcome. It is 8:30. It is the 6th day of December 2021. It is a cold 52 degrees here in Ventura County. It is bright and sunny, but there is a knife-sharp cold breeze coming off of the ocean. Weather alerts all over the country, plus all the other nonsense like COVID and politics and things. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about what's going on in the world of tabletop role-playing games this week as we take a look at all the news that we're made aware of. So we have another article from another individual talking about how D&D is so mainstream. This one is from, I don't know, it doesn't say something about a pub somewhere in Southampton that has an entire menu based upon Dungeons and Dragons things. Of course, if you look at the menu, most of them are just general things from mythology and the Lord of the Rings. The same thing seems to be that the mainstream likes touting the fact that D&D is mainstream because it was mentioned on a TV show like, what is this, 4th season? So 5 years ago? And yet that's still the flag that they like to wave. Hey, look, D&D, you're mainstream now. Well, first, we've always been mainstream. And second, stop trying to milk the fact that D&D is mainstream. Talk about something else. Okay, what else is going on in the world of Dungeons & Dragons? Of course, we have the Cortex fan licensing thing about that got a lot of negative restrictions. So Cortex Prime was announced to be able to be fan licensed. So that means you could make your own stuff using the Cortex Prime engine, kind of like the OGL or the open game content or the fact, the 5e thing. But currently there were a lot of restrictions and negative feedback regarding it, and especially regarding the licensing and stuff like that. So it is being reevaluated, but as of now, it's still floating out there that you can make stuff using Cortex. Strixhaven should be on the shelves tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 7th. That is the projected day to see Strixhaven, the last publication from Wizards of the Coast this year, and yet another one that is causing way more controversy than perhaps it should. We will see. I'm still holding to my theory that this is Wizards of the Coast experimenting with a lot of ideas to see if they actually work before they move forward with whatever they have planned next for the 2024 5.5, 6.0 D&D. After some of the ideas that have failed them miserably over the last year or so, I think what they're doing is using Strixhaven and Witchlight and Mordekainen's menagerie of multiversal monsters and mayhem next year to sort of experiment and see, hey, does this idea sell? And if the sales of Strixhaven are as bad as the sales of some of the other products in 2021, they might go, okay, this idea was bad. So yes, if you have been living under a rock and you had no idea, Strixhaven available tomorrow. Maybe, but maybe not. You still have a chance to vote for your favorite tabletop role-playing game podcasts over at the Ennies. They're starting the nominees now for the 2022. So if you want to have your voice heard in regards to tabletop role-playing game podcasts, take a look at that. What else is going on in the world? The Mothership Sci-Fi Horror RPG box set is been unlocked, and all the stretch goals have been unlocked for the Kickstarter. We've got a whole bunch of new stuff available for Mothership. 2021 was definitely the year of Mothership. So many products coming out for the Mothership tabletop role-playing game line. Interesting. I don't know what to make of that in regards to sales and just the increase in stuff being published. I mean, if we're going to talk about surprising things that have made a lot of sales and impacted the tabletop role-playing game that we never thought would, perhaps it's the 500% increase in sales of World of Darkness / Vampire the Masquerade product in this year, or the fact that Dungeons & Dragons sales have dropped almost 80% from this time last year. In other news, Strixhaven In other news, there's a D&D Beyond first level adventure to promote Strixhaven off over on D&D Beyond. It apparently involves magic rings, and I don't know, is it the Planeteers? We're going to see a Captain Planet show up in Strixhaven? Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. There is the D&D spell survey still floating around over at Wizards of the Coast. If you haven't had a chance to sit through that mind-numbingly boring survey, you can. I did a vlog for it earlier this week, taking a look at the survey and really just realizing that the survey is not directed towards tabletop role-playing game fans or even D&D fans. It's directed towards the Twitters who are influencing Wizards of the Coast's choices. And let's face it, anybody is not going to sit through that and mentally evaluate each of the hundreds of spells in alphabetical order. They're just going to go bep, dut, 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 like I did in my vlog. So you can check that out. Drive-Thru has a big selection of out-of-print print-on-demand products available from Paizo. So if you're looking for some Pathfinder First Edition stuff that might be out of print, like the Emerald Spiral Mega Dungeon, the hilarious Weeby Goblins series, or some of the other stuff that you might be able to get for Pathfinder First Edition, head on over to Drive-Thru and check out. This is a whole bunch of stuff that is available for print-on-demand that has currently, up to now, not been available. So, yeah. We have another set of entries from the Dungeons & Dragons Figurine of Adorable Power line from Ultra Pro. This one includes things like a Displacer Beast and a Flump. Hey, yeah, some love for the Flump, quite possibly the most useless monster in D&D. I went to a pet store this weekend, which was a dangerous choice. Saw a hairless guinea pig, which is surprisingly adorable. So, of course, it's also sad that they've bred guinea pigs to be hairless. Yeah, well, whatever. Edge Studio releases their free RPG Day offerings on their website as PDF downloads. So if you want to take a look at some of the stuff that was available from Edge Studios on PDF, now you can get them again for free over as PDF downloads as the Edge Studios site. This includes stuff for Twilight Imperium, Realms of Tethorith, and some stuff for Keyforge. Wow, interesting, the Keyforge. I guess they're maybe trying to turn Keyforge into an RPG? Or at least make some Keyforge adjacent stuff set in the Keyforge universe, but for other RPGs, like, I don't know, whatever RPG. If you're not familiar with Keyforge is the newest product line from the creator of Magic the Gathering, Richard Garfield. We have some news on the SHIP apocalypse. That's SHIP apocalypse. The ports of Los Angeles and the port of Long Beach, which together account for 40% of the shipping traffic in the United States, announced significant progress has been made in clearing the backlog of ships. The number of ships waiting to unload cargo dropped from 111 to just 61. With cargo containers that have been unloaded from ships but waiting for the port reduced by 33%. The Retail Leaders Association is also pursuing the government to take further measures to reduce the backlog in shipping that is part of the cause of the massive increase in shipping costs and the delay in so many products being made available, especially this close to the holidays. If you haven't done your Christmas shopping yet, dude, you need to do it now. Like I said, I went to the mall this weekend and empty. The shelves are empty. So if you're thinking of making that last minute Christmas run, that 7-Eleven is open at midnight is looking a lot more charming, because if you think you're going to get a PlayStation for, young Billy or young Susan on your Christmas list, I wouldn't count on it. So way to go that those boats are finally going to be outloaded. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of retail money, and it's going to clear up a lot of potential hazards in the shipping lanes, get a lot of people off those boats, so giving a chance to go home for the holidays, and generally make retail hopefully easier for 2022, because Lord knows retail has suffered a lot in 2021. It's the final week of the Humble Bumble for 2021. including the Map Bonanza bundle is still available. The 3D printable adventure module bundle is still available. And the Voices of Heresy bundle from the Black Library is still available. These will be the last Humble Bundles probably. These will be the last Humble Bundles probably for 2021. And then we'll see what they have available for stuff 2022. And speaking of downloads, you still have another week to support the Yogcast Jingle Jam, which is raising money for multiple charities and have already raised over $2 million for multiple charities. And still have another week to go. So if you're feeling generous and want to support a charity this holidays, head on over to yogcast.twitch.com and consider donating to one of the many charities. Or if you want to keep it closer to home, consider donating to my charity of choice, Team Primetime in Los Angeles, California. And if you're especially generous, why don't you subscribe to my vlog if you haven't yet and help me reach 1,000 subs by January 1st. And I will do as promised and plug in the camera, show the cap, and possibly never talk about Wizards of the Coast ever again because so many people complain that I talk so much about Wizards of the Coast. Well, you know what? If some other game company was as newsworthy as Wizards of the Coast, I'd talk about them. Is there anything else going on in the world? Do you want a gift idea list for the D&D players in your life? Here's a list of things that probably aren't available because of the shipping thing, but you could get Healing Potion Tokens acrylic set. Well, that's an utter waste. So if you're not smart enough to keep track of the potions and healing potions that you have, you could spend money to get these acrylic things that people could then have to show that they've used a No, that's just a waste. D&D spell lot track. Again, just a waste. Portable leather drawstring dice bag for $18. Jeez, no. Yep, nope. Yeah, these are all horrible choices. I don't know who made this list. This is just all simple things. D&D bath bombs, that's kind of clever. Call of Cthulhu socks. Yeah, that's what everybody needs is Call of Cthulhu socks. Because nothing says geek cred like walking around with our Lord Cthulhu on your feet. Yeah, that's surely going to make the Tentacle Lord happy that you were squishing him with your feet. We have D&D bath bombs with dice. Clever, but I could just go buy dice. More dice. A solid wood character record sheet. A solid wood tabletop acrylic character record sheet, because you're not smart enough to keep track of your character's stuff on a notepad. So here is a solid wood and a solid acrylic character record sheet so you could keep track of the stuff on your character so you don't have to keep erasing your character record sheet. Or you could just use a piece of paper like we have for 45 years. Jesus. Or you could get a $30 dice tray for the player in your life because, yeah, again, not smart enough to use a shoebox cover. If you really need a dice tray, you have to spend $30 on a dice tray when you could just get one for free from a shoebox cover or paper plate or anything that would stop the dice from rolling all over the table if that's something you want. Or you could just roll them the way Will Wheaton rolls them, and then you would never have to worry about them rolling off. But no, you could spend $30 to get the D&D player in your life a dice tray. If anybody's thinking of getting me presents that are D&D related for the holidays, do not get me any of these. These are all stupid. But that's just my opinion, and my opinion doesn't matter. If you appreciate the sound of my words and my voice, give a thumbs up. Support me by subscribing to my YouTube channel, and generally have a great holiday. Stay warm, stay dry, stay sober, stay off my land, and get your Christmas shopping done as soon as you can. And that kind of rhymed. Yeah, talk to you later.